All right, let's go ahead and get started. 1 hour. We're going to talk about motivation, meditation, and inspiration. Like I was saying, if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Let's go ahead and start getting this thing going. Let's get some readings out there. Let's get focusing. Let's get ourselves in a place where we start to become centered, where we start to give ourselves the ability to utilize that first 30 minutes of our day. So right now it's about 10:52 a.m. p.m. a.m. here in Arizona. Just want to start getting that focus going, start getting ourselves to utilize the exercise of the process of focus. Like I was saying, if you want to get a reading, I am on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. And so let's go ahead and start utilizing this exercise. Let's get into it. First, we got to start asking ourselves this question. Is it about meditation? Is it about motivation? Is it about inspiration? So if it's not one of the three, I don't want it. Start getting that mindset into that place. Start getting ourselves down so that we can start to overcome our own challenges. Start to get down with the thought process inside to where we have the ability, where the focus within ourselves starts to become an exercise. So let's go ahead and start this exercise going to a place where the reflection starts to radiate outward. That's right, the reflection from within can start to radiate outwards. So as we start to focus, as we start to put things in front of ourselves, we start to see them. As we start to utilize the tools in the universe, we recognize that we are a tool. We start to recognize that the ability within is there for you, the ability to use the things that you do have, that you are a gift in this universe, that the universe needs you. And so when we start to focus to that place where we can see the things that are not meant for us move out of the way on their own, the things that are meant for you start moving in your direction. And so when we start to put ourselves in that place, when we truly start to break down those kinds of challenges to where we start to overcome our own challenges, to where we start to be who we truly are on the inside, when we start to get to that place of focus, when we start to get to that place where these challenges no longer have an ability to overcome us, where we're able to do energy readings, where the ability from within ourselves starts to come out, we start to recognize that we are a tool in this universe, that the universe has the ability to start to use what we have, has the ability to use the challenges that you face off against, the things that you're going through on a daily basis. So as we focus to that point, as we give ourselves that ability to start to use that kind of mentality, we have to start asking ourselves that type of question. How can we do that? How can we put ourselves in that place? How can we allow the things that are not meant for us to move out of the way? How can we use the gifts that we have? How can we put these things in front of ourselves so we can come up with an action, with a plan to how to overcome it? So let's go ahead and start lifting the weights of focus. Let's start getting ourselves in a place where we start to get this exercise going. Start to get this thing into a place where the mentality starts to become an ability. The mentality to overcome our challenges starts to come. The level of focus starts to become a reflection, and other people start to see that reflection as strength. Other people start to see that as you lifting the weights of your life, lifting the ability that you have inside of yourself. And so how do we start to exercise that process? How do we start to recognize that the universe is there for us? We start to see that the positive and the negative is there for us to flip to positive. We start to see that that is a part of the exercise. It's a part of being yourself. It's a part of overcoming your challenges. It's a part of working through that. And we can do this. We can make it through 1 hour, 30 minutes of focus, 30 minutes about the ability to see those kind of gifts working through you, to see that kind of availability in you. You can do it. You can achieve it. If you start to write it down, if you start to put it in front of yourself, and you start to put those things so you can see them, if you can start to put them in front of yourself so you can see them, then you can lift them up. If you can start to see them in front of yourself, then the challenges become less. If you start to see them in front of yourself, the ability to use them in the way in which the universe can work for you could start being there. So let's go ahead and start using these kind of weights. Let's start putting ourselves in a place where what we write down becomes tools. What we write down becomes abilities. What we write down becomes manifested. And so let's start getting these things going. Let's start getting into this pattern. Let's start getting this focus going to this place. And so the things that are not meant for us will start to move out of the way on their own. They're going to start putting themselves out of the way because the universe is going to use you. It's going to use the gifts that you have. It's going to give you the ability to focus to that place where you can do this. You can do this. You can make it through this. You got this. focus for 30 minutes. That's what it takes. 30 minutes, that's it. So let's go ahead and start getting into this. We start to listen to positivity. We start to get out there and recognize that motivational speakers are radiating light of motivation. What you're seeing comes from their level of focus. It comes from their ability to be down with themselves. It comes from their ability to face off against their own challenges, to allow the things on the outside to no longer affect them. So how do we start to get there? How do we get to that place? How do we give ourselves that kind of time? How do we get over our own challenges? We have to believe in ourselves. We have to put ourselves in a place where the manifestation radiates outwards, where other people are the ones that's calling us focus posts because we're writing it down. We're putting ourselves in a place where we're starting to listen to it. We're starting to get down with ourselves. We're starting to get to that place, and that is within you. So let's continue as we hit that 5-minute marker. Let's get to that 10-minute marker. Let's go ahead and focus a little bit on what listening to motivation should do for you. When you listen to motivation, you should look at that and use it to apply it for your life. You should utilize it in such a way that you can see how those people were able to face off against the challenges that you do, face off against the things that you go through, face off against the things that you want to go through. Come on, we got this. 10 minutes focus. Let's do it. Okay, so focusing on that, giving yourself that place, putting yourself in that place will get you to start relating with people who have the same kind of challenges as you. Because it's never about somebody else, it's always going to be about you versus you. It's always going to be about your mindset, your ability to allow yourself to only let positivity into your life, your ability to only let things move in your direction to bless you. And so this is where we focus to that point. We start to focus to the ability for us to start to achieve that. We start to focus to the ability where the challenges that we face off against are no longer challenges. They're places in front of us to see, to turn them towards positivity, to have a positive mindset, to just give yourself a little bit of time for you, to strengthen your mind, to strengthen your ability, to focus, to give yourself that foundation, to give yourself the ability to enjoy this exercise, to give yourself the ability to utilize it, to put yourself in that place where focusing and utilizing your energy within you uses you in this universe. You start to get down with that just a little bit. Come on, we're almost at the 10-minute marker. So let's go ahead and start looking at how that can actually start working in your life. Those people have focused to that place, and the manifestation has come from that focus. Those people have seen that when they utilize what they have, the reflection radiates outwards. Those people have seen the ability to use those kind of challenges to overcome their own challenges. So that means that when you focus to that point where you use what you've got, the foundation comes. The foundation inside is there for you. And when you see that, when you give yourself that ability, when you put yourself in that kind of a place, then utilization of that kind of a tool comes to you. Utilization in that kind of way becomes a gift for you, becomes a place within you, becomes a challenge within you. And so when you focus past it, when you give yourself that kind of blessing, when you become a blessing. So let's see how listening to other people's positivity works for them. So when you start to put yourself in a place of focus, when you start to give yourself that ability, when you start to recognize that you can do it, that you got what it takes, the challenges that you face off against is there for you. The things that you go through is there for you. The ability to be yourself is there for you. So focus into listening to positivity. Start turning off the things that aren't bringing positivity in your direction. Start turning off the people that aren't meant for you, not meant to be in your place. Recognize that positivity can work through you. But recognize that the things that you do, the places that you go, the manifestation can become a thought process, a reflection on the outside from within. So when we allow ourselves to have a foundation of focus, when we allow ourselves to have that place, we give ourselves the ability to utilize that. And that's when people start to see the strength inside of you. They start to see that as a reflection. They start to see the reflection of strength come from within you. And so that's how this mentality starts to work, the focusing to the point. Come on, we're almost there, 10 minutes. You can do this for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, almost there to the hour. You got this, you can do this. So when we start to utilize the gifts that we have, the universe has the ability to use those gifts. So when you are a tool in this universe and you recognize that you are the right tool for your life, that you are the right tool for your challenges, that you are the right tool within yourself, you start to focus to that place. You start to make that stuff happen. You start to manifest. And so when you start to manifest, it's other people that see that. So call yourself focused, call yourself available for you, for an able mentality, for an ability to use those types of gifts. And so when you are writing it down, recognize that when you write stuff down and you put it in front of yourself, you can see it. When you can see it, you can achieve it. And so when you listen to it, you can manifest it. So when you put yourself in a place where you start to speak it, speaking it out is a very special tool. It means that you can get yourself down to the place where that tool starts to let it out, where it starts to let that process work through you. When you start to speak things out, the gifts come your way. The ability for the universe to test you comes your way. It starts to ask you the question if this is what you truly want. 10-minute marker to the hour. Let's go. We got this. Focusing to the point where we start to speak things out. Let's go ahead and talk about speaking things out. When you start to truly speak your mind, and I mean you start to speak everything that goes on within, when you give yourself that place, when you liberate yourself from those challenges, when you give yourself that ability, when the things that are going on around you are coming from what's going on inside you, when you give yourself that place, when you have that kind of focus, where you can truly speak it out, you let that energy flow out of you. You let the ability inside of you reflect outwards. You let that ability inside of you 11 minutes. Come on, we got this. We can do this. Let's get down with this grind. Let's get down with this focus. You can make it through 30 minutes. You can get to that place. I'm telling you, when you put yourself in a place where you start speaking it out, when you start to allow yourself to bring positive people around you, you start to focus to the point where what's truly going on inside is no longer about anybody else. It's about you and you. And so when you focus to that level, when you put yourself in that place where you become the strength inside of yourself, where the reflection of your strength shows as a radiating light of focus, what do we got? We got ourselves. We have the ability to use that. We have the ability to speak that out. That is a very special tool. And so what are some of the ways you could speak that out? You could speak out the things that happen to you. You could speak out the things that you're facing off against. You could speak out the things that you want to achieve. You could speak things out in such a way that the manifestation can radiate outwards. It's when other people see that the achievement starts to come. It's when other people recognize that utilizing the tools that you have, and there are many tools in the universe. There's the ability for you to express it physically. There's the ability for you to manifest it. And so when you allow yourself to be that, when you allow yourself to have that, when you start to see and identify with you, when you start to see and identify with your challenges, you start to see and identify with who you truly are. And when you start to give yourself permission to speak it out, when you give yourself permission to focus to that level, where from what's in goes out, when you give yourself that place, when you allow yourself those kind of challenges, then you have the ability to face off against them. Then you have the ability to face off against them. 13 minutes, come on, we can do 20. Let's talk about speaking stuff out for 10 minutes. We can do this. Come on, let's get down with this. So how can we start to put it? We can sing it out. We can speak it out. We can put ourselves in a place. We allow positivity to be the thing. When you only acknowledge positivity and you see all negativity as positivity waiting to get flipped, when you speak out positively, when you put that out there, when you truly put your focus as a foundation towards positivity out there, you start bringing positivity in your direction. You start bringing the right things in your direction. You start bringing the things that are meant for you, the positive things in the universe. When we recognize that this universe was created for us, when we recognize that we can take things and turn them positive, that we can focus to that level, we start to change the way our mind thinks. We start to change the way things happen around us because we allow ourselves to be positive. We allow ourselves to see everything as an ability to overcome our challenges, that nothing doesn't happen for a reason. Everything that we go through is there. Every challenge that we face off against is there. Every blessing is there. Everything that you go through is there. 14 minutes. Come on, we can do 10 minutes talking about focus through speaking. Start speaking it out can bring gifts your way. Start speaking it out can bring the right people your way. Start speaking it out can bring the things from your level of focus when you truly are you. There's a lot of times we're trying to put other things in front. You know, we speak our words in one thing and then all of a sudden we say something else. So it's getting down to truly what you mean, truly who you are, the person who you truly are inside, those challenges that you face off against, and you start to get down with that person. And you're not afraid of the challenges that you face off against because you're so focused that they move out of the way, that they no longer have a place in your universe. They no longer have a place in your life. So this is what focusing through speaking stuff out does for you. It gives you that place to use that as a tool. It gives you that place to utilize that as a focus. And so when we start to use this kind of gift, when we start to put ourselves in a place where we manifest it on the outside, we actually give ourselves the ability to speak it out. We give ourselves the ability to put it out there. We start to recognize that what we have inside we can actually use. We start to recognize that we can focus to that level, that we can use the things that we do have. And so speech is a gift. It is a tool of many in the universe. It is an ability to put yourself in a place where the strengths inside of you have the ability to work. They have the ability to be there for you. They have the ability to work through you. They have the ability to work around you, because it's never about what you don't have. It's always about what you do have and what you do with what you got. So let's go ahead and look at how singing it out can get out the energy. So when you start to sing it out, you start to put yourself in a place where you're using those energies, where the connection of those energies have the ability to be utilized in that way. A lot of singers start to write this stuff down and then they sing it out. Do you see the connection? The connection there is the ability to use the tools that you have. The connection there is the ability to see that you are a blessing in the universe, that the challenges that you face off against are there for you, that the challenges that you face off against are within you. And when you focus to that level, when you give yourself that place, when you allow yourself to be you, when you allow yourself to go through the challenges that you have gone through, the places that you have gone, then you start to focus within. You start to give yourself the ability to use your gifts. So when you're at your profession, when you're in your place and you are truly knowing yourself, you are truly speaking your mind, you are truly being who you are, and the things that are not meant for you start to move out of the way on their own. You start to be who you truly are inside. The reflection starts to radiate outwards from within. So speaking is a very special tool. Speaking is the ability to use the weight of your voice. The weight of your voice, which is a foundation of focus, a foundation that's there for you, a foundation that gives you the ability, a foundation that has the ability to use your level of focus as a reflection that other people see as strength. Other people see you as a person who stands up for themselves. Other people see you as the ability to be who you truly are inside. And so as you speak stuff out, you start to recognize that that tool is available to you. It is there for you. And so we see these kind of tools in such a way that we start to manifest them outwards. When we start to speak it out, when we start to truly put it out there, magnitudes change around you. Things change around you from you being yourself. Nothing inside of you truly changes. The true person inside of you starts coming out. The true person inside of you starts to radiate light. That level of focus is a blessing. That level of challenge is a blessing. Ooh, 2 minutes to the 10-minute marker, 20 minutes focus. The ability to master our voice, to master our ability to use our challenges, master our ability to use our things so we can strengthen ourselves, so that we can strengthen other people from the ability from you being yourself, from the ability to be who you are on the inside. Let's go ahead and keep getting it. Let's get it. Let's go after it. Focusing through using the ability to speak stuff out, sing stuff out. Put yourself in a place where you are connecting with who you truly are, connecting with the challenges that you face off against, putting yourself in a place where you're voicing yourself truly. And I mean with the person who you truly are inside, using the gifts that you have, the tools that you have, recognizing that this universe was built for you. So when you feel yourself sitting down and you say that this is the first answer and this is the second that I would give, take the first one, take the one that's you, take the voice that's inside of you, take the ability to use your challenges as a blessing, take the ability to use yourself as liberation, your ability to use that level of focus to that place, your ability to use those kinds of challenges to overcome your challenges, your ability to focus to the place where you got what it takes. And that's what it's about. It's about getting to the place where you use your strengths. You start to use your strengths to overcome your weaknesses, like speaking stuff out. And so when we put ourselves in that kind of place, we put ourselves through that kind of focus, we give ourselves the ability to truly be who we are. We give ourselves the ability to be who we are on the inside. And the things that we face off against, we start to overcome. The things that we face off against, we use as a reflection, because that's what other people see when you speak stuff out. That is what it's about. So let's go ahead and start looking 20 minutes in. Let's go ahead and start looking at how we can start to read stuff. We can sit down and start looking at other quotes. We can look throughout time. We can start to see these things in front of us. We can see how people started to turn stuff positive. We can see how they achieved their dreams. We can see how writing stuff down is a part of the ability to read stuff. We can see how when you start to read artists, poets, singers' work, we start to see the reflection from them. We start to see the ability inside of them. We start to see the able mentality. We start to see that the challenges that they faced off against, they started to overcome. And that's how the universe works. The universe utilizes what you have. The universe utilizes your gifts. The universe utilizes you. It utilizes the things that you can do, the things that you can focus on. 10 minutes about reading. 10 minutes about reading and seeing quotes. Seeing the quotes in front of yourself. Put yourself out there. Write down these quotes. Read these quotes. Read the quotes that the universe has put out there. The great people, the great minds throughout time have given to you. Recognize they're a gift. Recognize they're an ability to see positivity. That you can do it. If others can do it, you can too. If you can sit down and start to see this and start to master it and start to put yourself in a place where what you have inside becomes a reflection outwards, then you can see the quotes in front of you. You can see these things and you can apply them. So when we start to read positivity, we start to read into positivity, we start to put ourselves in that kind of place, we start to manifest those types of things around us. Those things start to come around us. My brother has a quote here in the room. It says, the degree that we believe ourselves to be winners, no matter what happens, we are. So when you read those types of things, you put yourself in a place where you're giving the ability to have an able mentality, where you're giving an ability to have that kind of focus, where you're giving yourself the ability to have that kind of mentality to where the reflection radiates outwards from within, where the reflection radiates outwards from your level of focus, where it comes from your ability to read stuff, your ability to sit down with you. 20 minutes into the 30 minutes of focus, putting ourselves in a place where we start to read, where we start to use our gifts, where we start to use our challenges, we start to use our ability inside of ourselves. Blessings, 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 as I start doing energy readings.
Can you do my reading, please?
Sure.
Okay, read me. I'm ready.
Yeah, most definitely. So you like to speak your mind, huh?
No, I'm a bit of an introvert.
No, I understand that you're an introvert.
Yeah,
But the energy that you use, you voice it out somehow.
yeah, somehow.
So that means that you utilize that energy and the ability to voice it out, and it probably has to do something with your everyday.
What do you mean?
Well, see, there's 7 energy fields within the human being. Each individual energy field has its own place and the way it works. So when speaking it out means it can happen through writing, it can happen through singing, it can happen through in multiple ways.
What can you tell about my energy sexually?
So it's not a joke that I can read energy. Okay, I did about...
Sexually wise, because I find myself very horny all the time.
So I'm not going to continue this conversation because it's about positivity. It's not about going down that route. So
I don't want to like tie someone up and talk to them.
So recognize that your ability to express yourself is the reason why your energy field is blue. Okay?
I don't like blue.
I understand that. There's 7 energies who run the human being.
What's my energy?
I already explained that. It's a blue energy field.
What does that mean? Blue is good or blue is bad?
So throughout the body, the ability to stand one's ground is red. The ability to have the human organ system, which we were talking about there, that is orange. The stomach is where the thought process is, then you have the heart, which is green, then you have the throat, which is blue.
So my stomach is my brain.
Yeah, so each individual energy field is related to a color of energy within the body. Then you have the purple, which is your depth perception, and then you have the nervous system. So whichever
The
energy,
nervous system is in a color.
the nervous system is a white energy field.
Now I know that.
So each individual energy field is related. So whichever energy field inside is the highest frequency is what your basic place of working through your whole entire day, week, and everything that you work from primarily works from. Are you with
What's
me?
the science behind that though?
Sure. So you can definitely go online and type up a human heat scan, and you will definitely see a human heat scan.
Or like a thermal imaging.
Yes, exactly. That kind of a thing. So
That's got nothing in relation to what you're talking about.
it has absolutely relations to
That's
what
do
I'm
with
talking
temperature.
about. It has to do with the energy inside of the body, which breaks down into chakras.
So what energy would a candle be? The candle's going to appear white on a thermal imaging camera. It's white hot.
So people with a white energy field dominate.
Talking about like a fire, like a flame.
So
It's going to be white on a thermal imaging camera.
So the white is usually the external. That's the one field that runs your nervous system.
Yeah, but if I look at a thermal imaging camera of yourself, I'm just going to see your body in different colors. That has nothing in relations to...
You're gonna. That's exactly has relation. See, when you meditate, you centralize each of those individual energy fields.
Yeah.
So they have a part to do with your whole entire body. And so
So
what,
if I go jogging, what's my thermal imaging going to look like? It's going to be all hot.
what I'm saying to you is, with meditation, you start to break down those energy fields into different sections.
Yes,
So
but the imaging camera is going to look at heat. It's not going to look at what you're feeling.
I understand, but that is an energy.
No, it's heat.
That heat is energy inside of you. And so the understanding that that runs through your whole body and how to utilize it is a part of the relation with you and your hardware and the software of you. So reading of energy has to deal with that.
A load of bullshit.
Well, I do hope that you have a blessed day.
Because that's not how a thermal camera works.
So, as we start to get down with the challenges that we face off against, as we start to get down with the energy within ourselves, we start to get to the place where we utilize what we have. We start to get to the place where we start to get within ourselves, when we start to see the positivity coming through everything, the ability to see, the ability for the focus to be there. We start to see the challenges happening around us. When we start to speak stuff out, we start to put ourselves in a place where we have that ability inside of ourselves. We start to read stuff. We start to see these quotes in front of us. We start to see how that was for a positivity. We start to see that as a blessing. And so I am here, and I definitely do see you as well. So recognize that there are going to be both positive and negative forces in the universe. Positive and negative forces that are going to come in your direction. Positive and negative abilities are going to be there for you. And so that's what it's about. It's about you seeing that and identifying exactly like that. Exactly like you're not going to allow the negativity to be in your direction. Blessings, 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 Dawix.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
Yeah, I've been listening to you since, I don't know, last week or so.
Uh-huh.
And I really like your positive energy. Like, I could just listen. Maybe sometimes I don't even say anything.
Sure.
But I just like what you talk about and stuff like that. So I'm actually trying to be positive, but I think I'm kind of lost in, how can I say that? This process.
Okay, so it starts with recognizing it is a process.
Okay.
So that's a positive beginning. Okay, did you see how that person came in here and all of a sudden I recognized it was a negative source and I didn't allow it to
Yeah.
affect me? So it means that
Right.
recognizing that for each action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So because of that negative reaction, a positive reaction, which is you calling in and asking for guidance, happened. You with me?
Right. Yes.
So once we start to recognize that that's how the universe works, it's all of a sudden up to us to start to see how that is turning positive.
All right.
So the first place of starting to be able to do that is to recognize it's not about anybody else. If we put you in a room by yourself, all you have is you, right?
Okay.
So that comes down to you asking yourself the question if you have the tools inside of yourself that lift you up. So that's why when you write stuff down, you write down everything, all experiences that you have, everything. You put it in front of yourself, and then you continue doing that until the point where you get it all out of your system.
Okay.
Like daily, I mean before, when you start your day, when you end your day. So all of it, and it doesn't even have to be written down. You can actually speak it into a lot of these devices have, places where they have notepads and stuff like that.
Right.
The main point is that you put it somewhere where you can see it so you can have an action plan to turn it into positivity.
And how can I turn it to positivity?
So what you'll want to do is you'll start to want to, and this is the reason why you want to continuously write, okay?
Okay.
So it's like you open up the canon on yourself, not somebody else, everything.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking, it should look like something that you don't want nobody else to read. Are you with me?
Yes.
So when you do that for yourself, what happens is the ability to have a mentality of an able mentality starts to say, hey, no, I'm standing up for myself.
Yeah.
And so after a while of doing that, you can actually go back and reread it. Okay?
I see.
And then you start to create the list of all the things with that.
Yeah.
And so now you start to see that when this happens, I act like this. When this happens, I react like this. When this happens, so realistically, you get to know the one thing that's most important, which is the process of yourself.
Yeah.
The second thing is turn off the radio. I mean, sometimes a music or something might be good. However, people are listening to music to the point where it's reaching the subconscious brain.
Yeah, but I think like now I live with a couple of roommates, and I think it's very hard for me to focus on myself, only myself.
It's very easy. Let me go ahead and show you how.
Okay, yeah, please.
So after you've spent the time writing stuff down before you start your day, and at the end of your day, you speak your mind both times. What happens is the index becomes available to you. You write your own mind, okay? Then at that point, when you start to have those kind of thoughts, what you do is you pick up your phone and you go to YouTube and you type in motivation.
Okay.
So before the mind has the ability to place it with bad habits, you place it with positive habits.
Okay.
So
Sounds good so far.
So
Yes.
that's the process of putting yourself in that place. That's why listening, because what those people are doing that are doing those positive things, what they're doing, what the reflection is coming from their level of focus is a level of reflection of positivity, which is known as motivation.
Yeah.
So it's a sense being yourself. So when people start to see you as you, nothing has changed. You're just being honest to yourself.
Yeah.
And so after enough time of doing that, it gets to the place where you have the ability to audit yourself. And in that place of being able to do that, the universe starts to throw things at you. It starts to throw tests at you. It starts to ask you if you have the proper tool to be who you are.
Correct.
And so at a certain point, you have the ability to stand up for that person inside.
Okay.
So that process starts to happen.
Alright.
And instead of everything happening on the outside crushing, it comes from within out.
Yep.
The second piece is learning how to meditate.
Yeah, and how to do that?
So first, you must master the ability to do exactly what I was telling you.
Okay.
To get the
That was
outside to
first
manifest positivity.
step. Okay.
At a certain point, the brain tells you you have an able ability to go within yourself.
Okay.
At
And
that,
how do I know I reached that level?
when you see it manifesting itself around you.
Okay.
So, as it manifests itself around you, it will no longer be from the outside crushing you, but from within out. So the breath will start to get to the inwards journey. And so
Okay.
as it goes within oneself, it becomes a student of oneself. Because the focus is an able mentality, you're prepared inside the mind to put yourself in that place. Now the universe within you starts to heat up. That energy inside the body starts to warm up. And it allows that student to study inside the classroom, which is ultimately you. You with me?
Yes.
Because on the other side is a teacher, the external breath. And so the center breath is a place where the teacher and the student are together inside of ourselves.
Okay.
So focus becomes the tool that extracts the knowledge beyond the opinion, okay? And I mean this from a universal aspect, not our own, which means that when you go through these things and you bypass the emotion, when you bypass, the slaveries within ourselves, when we bypass these types of things, when we get to that place, the knowledge frees itself, and this is called liberation.
Yeah.
So at a certain point of liberation, acceptance of oneself realizes that you are sufficient to be yourself. So when that light hits that place where your knowledge and your able ability to use your focus and the knowledge within oneself is able to break down the subjects of the energy inside of yourself, then you're doing meditation.
Okay, I see.
And there's different levels of elevation of meditation because meditation is self-study. And so that means that you have to pass through slavery and emotion, time and fight and flight within yourself, slavery and emotion, time and organization to ultimately hit the place of focus and knowledge. See how the tool of focus becomes very important?
Yeah.
So that is what it's about, is getting to understand yourself. Meditation is nothing more than self-study, self-extraction of the knowledge within yourself to free yourself.
Yeah.
So it all starts with the mentality, though.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna start to read my mind or write, and just go from there. And I hope I would reach the level of positivity I'm looking for.
It's what it's about. And so one of the positive ways is to always try to find the most positive path. So like when an angle comes at you, recognize that you're in control of the angle that you choose.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I'll give you an example. I was meditating and I had taken a student of a teacher called Marabani, which teaches Kundalini in San Diego. And I had taken this guy to the sauna with me. I'm way beyond these levels. Like it's not about that. It's about your own self-study. You with me?
Okay.
So like I see people, they call themselves professionals and then they try to sit down with me for a few hours in the sauna and they can't even last 30 minutes. So what I'm trying to say is that it's all about the mentality.
Yeah.
So when I brought this person to sit down with me, first he said, oh yeah, I'm trained, blah, 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 and sits down with me, has to go in and out. Now, I had gotten to the place where the clarity was, and I was with it in a place where there was nothing that had the ability to affect, okay? Because when you get focused to the point, even emotion moves out of your way, because it's a level of focus and knowledge. So we're driving down the road to drop him off, and in front of me is an entire, like, one of those dressers, like the plastic ones, on the freeway. I stop. I'm completely calm. Not freaked out. He sits next to me and goes, wow, thank goodness we do meditation. So it comes from that able mentality, but the place to start is to recognize that you have the sufficient tools to be yourself.
Yeah.
So so that's exactly the 10 minutes of meditation. So I talk about focus for 30 minutes a day. I talk about meditation for 10 minutes a day. And just like I'm on point here to talk about the third part.
Okay.
When knowledge and focus become a part of you, like, you see how I have two hands here and a head?
Right.
This is my body. This is my classroom. This is focus and this is knowledge. So when the whole being is together, when you take on a profession, a field, a being of yourself, and you understand what I'm saying there?
Yes.
That means that you have to connect the focus with the knowledge within yourself. Now, the people who have been able to achieve this are called disciplined.
Okay.
Now, when you see a person in any given gift that they use from the Most High Creator of this universe, through them, and you see that professional, say soccer player, which you've seen like the Pelé, the Michael Phelps, these people, their whole being is connected. So this means the knowledge and the focus has hit the place where the discipline is centered within themselves. When you allow yourself to have that kind of discipline, it radiates a reflection known as inspiration. So when your light shines bright, other people's light shine bright from you being yourself. So that's the reason why my stuff is motivation, meditation, and inspiration. Focus, knowledge, and discipline.
Yeah.
So that's what a question that you can ask yourself every day when you wake up. Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Which is self-study, right? So self-study would be basically, that's the reflection. And is it inspiration? So is me being myself uplifting you? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when other people start to see that, and the interesting thing is when you start to do that truly, the universe starts to test you. In the beginning, everything that is not working, like everything stops working in your favor in the beginning. Because what it does is the universe asks you the question, can you see how to turn this positive? Let's go ahead and test you to see if it'll happen. I went and sat down with somebody and I told them this. We did a meditation session. We sat down, did an energy reading. As I know you've been in and out seeing my energy readings. You've seen how I can do them, how, you know what I'm saying. So I sit down with her, do a physical session, and I told her stuff that she didn't even talk to anybody about herself.
Okay.
And so We're sitting there and we're going through all of this stuff. And I told her, now recognize that the universe is going to test you after today. Got hit by a plate from above, washing dishes. Just all kinds of stuff come at you. And it's there to see how good the skills you have work. That's what it's for. It's there to see that you can overcome it. Just like you saw that person came in this room and I didn't allow it to affect me.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about reaching into oneself. And Bruce Lee talks about that too. He had a speech and a guy asked him, how does he throw a punch? And Bruce Lee answered back, you got to put your whole self into it.
All right.
He meant the internal breath, himself, and the external breath. He also stated another statement. He said when he fights, he feels like he's in the third person. See, we have 1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah.
So, in other words, what he was saying is his knowledge and focus were in place to the point where his discipline was that whole entire being, where it was an inspiration, where the universe had the ability to literally bend the stuff out of the way on its own. So that's when I realized I needed to start helping people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When I started to see that I could do that for myself, and I want to inspire you to start your process there. I want to inspire you to see that, you know, even if you feel like you're in a dark place and it's not clear, that the tools are all around you. They're all there for you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. And
Blessings.
yeah. And maybe we'll talk later next time.
Sure. You're always
Thanks.
welcome, okay? You have a blessed day, okay?
Thanks. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. What a wonderful conversation. What a blessing it is. You know, we got to use what we have inside. We got to use the challenges that we face off against to turn them positive. We got to use the things that we go through on a daily basis to put them in a way that we can use our focus and our knowledge within ourselves. That we can use the focus and knowledge to where we become an inspiration in this world, where we uplift other people by being ourselves, where the challenges that we face off against are no longer challenges, but ability to have an able mentality, ability to use the knowledge inside of yourself to recognize that you are sufficient, that the challenges that you face off against you can overcome, that the things that you're going through on a daily basis are there for you. And so when we focus to that level, when we truly put ourselves in that place, when we give ourselves the ability to free ourselves, when we give ourselves the ability to use that kind of energy in such a way that it starts to uplift other people, then we see that the tools, they're there, and they're there for you, they're there for me, they're there for us all to see that we have the ability to use them. We have the ability to utilize them. We have the ability to bypass things that stop us from being who we truly are, which is the person inside of ourselves. We have the ability to overcome our own challenges. We have the ability to focus past that point where other people would stop, where other people wouldn't be able to go, because when we go within ourselves, we radiate light. And so that light can light up this world. It can make it brighter for other people. It can raise their level of understanding within themselves. It can raise their ability inside of themselves. It can give them the ability to focus on to positivity, to focus into the ability to overcome their challenges, to put themselves in a place where they pick themselves up out of the darkness and say, I can do this. I can achieve it. I can be who I am. I can use what I have inside of myself. You can utilize what you have inside of yourself. You can use the blessings that the Most High gave to you to be the person that you truly are. This universe was made for you and I. This universe is a place for us to use. The ability to use it is a blessing. The ability to utilize it is a blessing. So the person who does that, puts themselves in a place where they overcome their own challenges, puts themselves in a place where they uplift other people, puts themselves in a place where the blessings from within radiate outwards. And so as we do that, as we give ourselves that kind of place where focus and knowledge has a connection, where it connects at a place of discipline, which is you, at a place in this universe that has a point within you, that you are special, that you have blessings within you, that you have abilities within you, and the able mentality can open them. The able knowledge inside of you is sufficient. The ability for you to use those types of blessings on a daily basis, that kind of discipline gives a place of reflection. And so when we reflect outwards in uplifting people, we reflect outwards in positivity, we reflect outwards with the ability that we have to be ourselves. We reflect outwards as light in the universe. The universe has the ability to utilize what you have. The universe has the ability to use your blessings. And you are a gift in this universe. You are absolutely a light in this universe. And other people's days become lighter by you truly being yourself, by truly utilizing what you have, by using the things that you go through and the challenges that you go through. And they're out there for you to overcome. They're out there for you to achieve. They're out there for you to achieve that level of focus where you can release that knowledge within yourself, where you can release the ability to be you. You can release that light within yourself to the place where the reflection radiates outwards, where the reflection comes from within you. And so as we focus, as we use the gifts in the universe, as we use the energy within ourselves to help out other people, as we use the positivity and the focus within ourselves to achieve that, as people start to see these energy readings are a blessing from the Most High, as they see that the ability for us to use these things on a daily are there for you, and that they are gifts in this universe, I give them to the Most High. I give the ability for the universe to work through me from the Most High. The blessings that we have on a daily are here for us. And so we must use our focus and our knowledge and our discipline to reach that place. We must use our ability to be blessings. And so that is definitely true. When we put them in front of us and we absolutely focus and we use our manifestation to become a reflection outwards, when we use our focus within to radiate light, when we understand that we are a reflection in the universe of our knowledge and our focus, that we are a reflection in the universe of the energy within ourselves, that we can understand the energy inside of ourselves, that we can master the energy inside of ourselves. So I am doing energy readings, but I am very, very close to the end of this session here. So I am talking about the reflection of inspiration. And so when you see that, recognize that that's the utilization of the knowledge and focus, that you have that inside of yourself, that we all have that. It's the ability to use it. It's that able mentality that gets that knowledge opened up, to get that connection, to give you the ability to do the things that you need to do to overcome your own challenges, to put yourself in a place where you become a light in this universe, where you radiate light in this universe, where you have the ability to inspire other people, where the strength inside of you has the ability to radiate with that kind of a light, with that kind of a blessings, with that kind of a being. And so when we focus to that place, when we give ourselves that ability to exercise our mind to that place where focus and knowledge lays at a place of discipline, lays at a place of connection, of focus and knowledge within ourselves, where we put our whole self into this universe, where we use this universe and the gifts that we have and the blessings that we have come through us. And when we utilize it to that point, when we give ourselves that place to understand that we are centered within ourselves, the blessings that come our way are there for us. And all tools in the universe are tools. They're there for you to use. They're there for you to utilize. They're there for you to see that you are a special kind of tool in this universe, and that you have the tools inside of yourself to overcome the torque in this universe. The things that would come against you can be turned positive to the one with the mentality of focus, to the point where they can achieve positivity. So it's up to you to achieve that positivity. It's up to you to see the lightning of your day. It's up to you to see the lightning of the people around you by you being there, from you being who you are on the inside. And so that's when you start to achieve manifestation on the outside, is when other people see it as a reflection. As you see this reflection of inspiration, recognize that is a place of discipline. It is a place within oneself to radiate that outwards. We are talking about inspiration. the place between focus and knowledge of discipline, where it reflects the radiating light of inspiration. So when we uplift other people, we help them to liberate themselves. We help them to get to the place where that light inside radiates outwards. So we are blessings. You all are blessings. The challenges that you face off against are blessings. The things that you go through on a daily basis are there for you. They're there to allow you to overcome them. They're there for you to achieve samadhi within yourself. I just want you all to recognize this. I'll open it up for a few more minutes to go ahead and do one more energy reading. If you need an energy reading done, if you want to donate anything, it's down below, or you can throw whatever at me you would like. You can comment. You can put your comments in there. You can put your stuff in there. But I want you to see that you are an inspiration. It's the mentality to reach that place that matters the most. It's the mentality to see the knowledge inside of yourself is sufficient. To see your relationship with the Most High is there. That personal relationship in such a way that you can achieve it, no matter the challenges that you face off against. So as I close here, I just want to leave you with blessings. Connect with my networks, my YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, and Instagram. Motivation, meditation, inspiration, all one word. Leave a comment. If you'd like to get a reading done, it is here. Energy readings can help you to understand the energy that you have inside of yourself so you can utilize it for that level of focus. I do hope that you'll have a blessed day. As always, namaste.